Welcome to the Operation STRIX podcast. I'm your host, LaCroix. Joining me today, as always, are Roski Draftsman and Cool Blue Rays.
Hello, guys.
And this episode, we're going to be talking about episodes, 7 and 8? Yeah, 7 and 8. And then also the latest short mission that just got published, 62.4, which at this point, I don't even... There's so many decimals, I can't even keep track with them anymore.
Why the hell is it...
I don't know why. I don't know why he doesn't just make, or even, I don't know, 16, 62 and a half or, some shit like that. I don't know. We'll be talking about both episodes because, they're... As far as I'm concerned personally, I think episode 7 kind of spoke for itself. That was the apology episode.
I mean, I have a lot to talk about it.
Oh, you do? Well, then be my guest, Roski. What do you got for us?
It's mostly adaptation-wise and animation-wise than anything because, my God, I feel validated. I've said it before, but I feel so validated by the insight that we got from. I mean, if you guys have seen for the audience, I mean,
yeah,
the YouTube channel, the Canipa Effect. The channel covers up some production insight on anime series. Now, one of the ethics that they brought up is that, and I have mentioned before, they are trying to make the animation look as natural as possible. They are not relying on shorthands or overly exaggerating where it wasn't exaggerated in the manga because they are not adding their own too much of their own silly faces or
Yeah, I think as far as the natural animation style, I think you definitely see that, and I think that's part of the reason why Spy Family is so popular right now is just because it's not exaggerated, it's not anime that we're so used to seeing.
Yeah.
It's not there's no fan service almost at all. The characters are very they're very human in their qualities, and just the way the show presents itself more like a drama than it does a
wacky rom-com.
Yes, exactly. Which, I mean, even though it is kind of a gag anime, it's not. It takes itself very. I wouldn't say seriously, but it's very respectful.
It presents itself with dignity.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Of the subject matter, which it's always there in the background, even if we're not talking about it all the time.
But we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, what we were talking about before this, but moving on to what you were about to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, not that you brought up that. One of the other things that they brought up, and I have brought up as well, is that they have plenty POV shots. They're.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the times the camera is from the perspective of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And they play this hilariously in the episode because they do add some extra flavor to Twilight trying to pressure Anya into apologizing to Anya.
Yeah,
the way he writes sorry in the trees of the
yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Twilight,
people are gonna not notice that one.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
My favorite one was when he was the janitor. And he just Becky said something, and he just let out the most disgruntled dad yell, and I was just like, he's like, no. I don't know. That just tickled my funny bone there.
No, I mean, he sounds
I love Tatsuya. For his all of his fun screaming, shouting, tired dad expressions and whatnot.
Yeah.
And the English dub, I have to say, he does not hold a candle to anything remotely as entertaining as that.
Okay.
And it's a really big bummer because it makes Loid out to be super boring and undisturbed by everything.
Okay, I literally was
The
talking.
point is that
I was literally I was talking to myself about this yesterday night. Like I swear, like I didn't have anywhere else to talk to, so I was just like looking in the mirror, like this is fucking. It pisses me. It pisses me off because no.
I mentioned it in the server. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It
The dub
yeah.
is wholly competent. Okay. Except for Loid, and Loid drags it down so much, and like I understand.
Loid out. They're making him out to be like the really boring, straight, normal person.
Too boring,
sucks,
too straight.
because he's not normal.
Right, that's part of the charm of it, and like.
But he doesn't even look bothered in the English dub. He's like, all right, I guess
so,
I'm just gonna.
He's so detached and just like monotone, and like
He kind of lets everything roll off his shoulders. Like, that's not the Loid we know. The Loid we know is climbing up on rooftops and using mirrors to display messages from God.
Yeah.
Manipulate his daughter saying sorry.
Yeah.
Like, that's the Loid we know and love.
I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. I don't know if it's the voice actor. I don't know if it's the direction. But like, my thing is Loid talks a lot. Okay, and Tatsuya, to his credit, he can make me care when Loid goes off on one of these tangents of his, because he has that emotion, he has the inflection, he has the charisma to make me pay attention while he's going off on one of these. Like, it doesn't even matter what he's talking about. Like, he just has that passion behind his voice. Whereas English dub Loid, I'm listening to him drone on, and like one or two sentences and I'm already falling asleep. Like, I can't have that in a high action, fast paced anime,
Yeah.
So like, that's where I am with the dub. Like, I don't even bother looking at it anymore. Like, that's how bad it is to me.
I know,
unfortunately.
Yeah. So all of that. All of that makes Loid out to be literally the most boring character in the English dub, which is so bad because he's supposed to be practically our main character.
Yeah.
He's the reason this whole plot starts, and he's literally very boring compared to Yor, Anya, Frankie, Sylvia, Damian, Becky, Ewan, and Emil are even more interesting than fucking Loid.
Yeah.
Do you know how bad it is that two random kids who are like the little henchmen of Damian Desmond are more interesting to listen to than fucking the main man of the entire anime itself?
I mean, if they didn't sound interesting, we would have a problem. They're supposed to be little shit.
You know what? You know what I really wanted when I found out, and this is gonna. I just keep singing the praises of Love After World Domination, the dub. It's one of the best dubs I've ever heard, and like the main guy who voices Fudo. When I think it was you that shared that he was he
was the wise staff in episode 5. All those wise agents getting up in the bandit gear. He's one of them. He's like that guy who's like, oh, he's so cool in the English.
I want him as Loid. Okay, because I swear to God, like, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's 100% fit, but he has. I mean, that dude like can sell it.
That dude should come back as Daybreak.
Oh my God, that would be amazing if he was Daybreak.
I hope he is.
He's got like that hero voice quality, and like Daybreak's just so up his own ass.
You can tell he's like kind of a dumb sweetheart. He's like, aha, I'm the hero of the story.
Exactly.
Kind of quality.
I would
he's
love
got
that.
Like the perfect voice.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I'm really trying so hard not to be a bitch about the English dub, and it's like becoming harder and harder every time a new episode comes out, and all I'm filled with is disappointment that, oh man, he butchered like this really great line read from Tatsuya Uguchi,
Yeah.
Like all the time.
Yeah.
All the fucking time. I don't know what this guy's problem is.
For me, it was the episode 5 when he's fighting with Yor. And he's on the verge of getting his ass beat, and he's like, what? Still monotone, just like
what?
Uninterested.
I'm sorry, I haven't listened to the English dub.
You shouldn't. You
shouldn't. Because at that point he was like shitting himself, like, oh my God.
Roski, it was literally like, okay, so Yor's doing her kicks and shit like that, and Loid's reaction in the dub is, I didn't know witches could use physical attacks, and then he's like, "Oh, she's gonna kill me," and it's just like,
I don't even think he did like those pain grunts that Tatsuya did. I don't think he did any of those like extra sound effects where he's like, really, you can feel him like getting the air knocked out of his lungs from Yor's powerful kicks or anything.
The most he gave was
did any of that.
The most he gave was a Hank Hill like whoa. Like.
Yeah, this guy. You know what? This guy is only good at doing really long, boring monologues, but he can't do anything sweet. He can't do anything friendly. Barely anything friendly. He can't do anything funny. He can't do anything like with any kind of real emotion, and it's pissing me off. It's really pissing me off because I've heard this guy in other dubs. He's actually not too bad in other dubs, but for some reason he's like butchering the Loid dub right now for me, and it really sucks. It really, really sucks.
Yeah, no, that's where I am with it too.
Direction because. Even the
and you know it's bad when the abridged version of Loid, being like the isekai car British man, is more entertaining and more fun and just more emotional overall.
Can we talk a little bit about the abridged dub, because I love that video so much.
I love that dub.
Unironically, I want those voice actors for the real dub, because British Loid is everything I didn't know I wanted until I heard it, and it is great. It is fantastic. That is Loid if he was Daybreak, and the entire show is just centered on Daybreak. Yeah. If you haven't,
all the funny jokes about like she's a quote unquote an old lady because she's 27.
I was sitting over here just drinking my coffee, like fuck you.
I mean, that's the thing in Japan.
And you poor thing, Crow. I forgot.
Shut up. Not even 30 yet. Shut up.
Yeah, but 27 apparently is too old for anything.
I love Dominic's little jab
because they're weirdos like that. But
yeah,
I know you pointed out that fun joke where like Yor kicks that tray and abridged Loid is like, damn wifey, you doing anything later? I love how high his voice gets.
Damn wifey. Yeah, no, I love that part. I love most of that. Really it was
Anya
really
was
good.
very funny. Yeah, she sounded quite accurate to the English dub version. Very cutesy and kind of crazy.
Yor did as well, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Like I said,
but I think you pointed out that. Oh no, sorry. I'm talking about the regular English dub that you liked. Like you like everyone but the main cast. Yes. Like Camilla, you thought sounded better.
Camilla's, yeah. Camilla. Okay, here's my thing. In the English dub, Camilla's voice actor needs to be Yor's voice actor. Frankie's voice actor needs to be Loid's voice actor. And I mean, Anya's fine, but like, yeah.
Oh yeah, Anya's good.
I think those two are.
It makes me. I'm actually concerned that. Because of Yuri's voice, I'm either concerned it's going to be really good or really bad, and people are going to be like, why the fuck isn't Yuri just the main character?
My concern would be his voice is really deep. Like, I really enjoyed episode 8 because he sounded like a kid, like, even though he's 20 years old.
Straight up
like,
20.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounded like a man-child.
Yeah. Okay. We're probably gonna be hopping back and forth between the two episodes, but like, the episode 8. I thoroughly enjoyed. I have no idea what his name is. The voice actor for Yuri.
Kensho Ono.
He nailed it. I think like he definitely gave me that that doughy-eyed little brother, but like deep down he's just a perverse asshole, and I really got that in his acting. And wasn't it somebody on the server had said that him and Takuya, Yuri's voice actor and Takuya, were like best buds in real life.
You mentioned it once, and I think I've mentioned it a few times after that, which I find so fucking funny. They're actually really good friends in real life.
Yeah.
And they have
but in the dub, he has to act like, I fucking hate you, Loy, or Lottie.
Lottie.
That was hilarious. Like, Lottie!
Him screaming. Oh my god, prolonged screaming Yuri was so funny to me.
It was great. It was
Yeah.
I
Great job with like his expressions where he looks like he's like fucking dying inside, like damn you, Lonnie!
damn you, Lottie! God damn it!
Pouring wine into either like his cup or just straight up his mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that little bit.
Yeah. Kensho's voice, honestly, I was a little thrown off by how friendly he sounded.
Yeah.
Especially during the interrogation scene. Like, he was like, oh, I can't wait to go see my sister. I'm
mean,
celebrating her
yeah,
marriage after this, so why don't you hurry up and tell me what I need to know? And, popping out those pictures. Like, yeah, that's you, right? Don't deny it now. He's, like, just so friendly. And then instantly, he's, like, smashing this dude's face. And
that's how I envisioned Yuri.
Smoke.
Yeah, that's how I always saw
that's-
him as being. Is just
Yeah.
like detached in a way from reality, where he's just in his own fantasy world. And yeah,
it's like someone we know.
I mean, it's the Kanslan that.
Yeah, but
mean-
Yuri was full on psychopathic.
loved it.
Full on psychopathic. It was great. It was actually really well done. Kenshu, like
Kensho.
he does such a good job of like luring you into a false sense of security. Like, oh yeah, he's just a sweet young, puppy dog, like puppy little puppy boy.
Yeah.
And then like he's like burying and smashing faces into tables. Like you're the reason this country's fucked up, and I will do anything. And he means anything to protect his sister. He's not fucking around.
Yeah.
And you certainly should not think that he would ever like pull back on like pulling the trigger or something like that.
I like what you said, because I get that sense from him. Is that he, even though I already knew what was going to happen because I've read the chapter, I was still like
I wasn't prepared.
I wasn't prepared. Yeah, I was like, I didn't know when he was gonna snap, because like from scene to scene, he's either really calm or just losing his shit. But like, you didn't know when it was gonna happen.
I know.
That's like the.
Like Kensho had like. I don't know what it is, but he's like so good at like just quickly switching between being the sweet, cute, younger baby brother of Yor to like, I'm gonna fucking kill Loid and like I'm gonna like interrogate him or lock him away in jail forever, let him rot, and whatnot. Like, he's so quick with those changes. Like, I love the scene when he's like asking Yor, like, what do you call Loid? Yor, like, do you like, he's like stammering and like getting really nervous about like, do you call him like Loy or Lottie? And Yor's like, what are you talking about? And Yuri just immediately jumps to the worst, I guess, conclusion. That she does like cute pet names. So like, damn you, Lottie! He's like fucking losing his mind in like less than 5 seconds of dialogue.
Yeah.
It is so impressive. It is super impressive to me.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yuri really, his first introduction, Kensho made him shine as a character. Like, he really made me like Yuri so much more than what I read in the manga.
I liked that's what I was gonna say. I liked how the anime made him more likable, because I don't know what it is, because they didn't really change anything about it, but they just like tweaked like the presentation of things a little bit. Like, it becomes a lot less like cis-conny in the anime as opposed to the manga. Like, I don't know if it's just like that's just the grace of having, a little bit extra time to voice, inflection, all of that.
I think it's inflection, because they do like change. They do take out some really small details, but those small details they take out, they just
details like what?
I mean, it's really, really, really small. But for instance, when they have when Yuri is trying to, when Yuri is asking Yor, why didn't you tell me? When we get the flashback where Loid is like, why don't we just tell him the truth?
Yeah.
No. He will freak out. In the manga, you do see.
Yuri's reaction.
Yuri's reaction. You do see an insert. So this like changes, while small.
Yeah.
Also apply to Yuri, and do change a bit how we perceive the character, because they are presented a little differently, even if the actual events of the plot are the same.
Yeah.
Like the plot beats are the same, but the way they are presented is different enough that we do get a different vibe.
Yeah. One thing you said that I really agree with is they made him more reactionary instead of like obsessed, which really, in my opinion, suits his character better than how Endo wrote him in the manga, because it really does more sell the idea that Yuri is just an emotional person and he's very attached to Yor. And it's it's not cis-Connie in the sense that he's just very not obsessed, because I mean he is obsessed. We're gonna see that later, but
but it's very much protective of family,
Yes.
not so much like I want possession of quote unquote my sister over Loid.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, no, because he straight up says, he's like, I always wanted you to get married and be happy, but they have to be better at protecting you than me. And that's his whole
exactly.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually pulled up the manga chapter because I was curious, and it's so interesting to look at the panels when Yuri is like getting pissed off and then drinking.
Yeah.
It's so small compared to how big it seemed in the episode. Like they really zoom in on his face and like the motion of him shaking his head and guzzling down so much wine. It's great. Like it seems like such a small joke in the manga, but they made it so much bigger in the anime. Like you said,
I mean, he's getting drunk. They had to make the deal.
Yeah.
It's that Briar weak
that
liver.
Ability to consume alcohol, I guess.
That reminds me, sneaky little bastards. They did avoid showing so many things in the next episode preview.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot that's gonna happen next episode. Which speaking of the end, okay, so first of all, they did us dirty as hell.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Fucking banger. I would legit. I mean, we all saw it at the same time. But it was just like, as soon as it cut to Anya's face, everyone was just like, "Are you kidding me?" And then it was funny because this morning I was going back and looking at the episode again, and I was looking at the reaction videos, and I had posted the one in the general chat, but it was the mashup. And it was right at that part where everyone's just like waiting for them to kiss, and then Anya's face popped up, and you just saw like 20 people go like, ah!
They like threw their heads back with their hands in their face, like, no!
Everyone was so into it. I loved it.
It was
Yeah.
I mean, the manga does cut away that moment as well. So
because I didn't see, I wasn't reading it in the beginning, so like I already had that chapter available to me. But if that chapter had come out and I had to wait 2 weeks for that, I'd have torn up my room, man. I would have been like, ah!
I mean, I was already reading it by that.
Oh, you were? Oh god.
I was
a day one
reader.
Too. Yeah, I started reading this manga right around, I believe, chapter 10 or 11.
Oh, wow.
So, like, right before all of this happened. Yeah. But I didn't join our server until, like, November. So, I was on my own for quite a few months.
I didn't...
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get into,
that makes me the elder here, because I was a reader day one.
Oh, my God.
Damn, Roski.
OG.
Yeah, you stuck it out that long.
Damn.
Holy shit.
I'm the baby here. I was chapter 27? I think that's when I started.
Damn.
I know. Y'all are my senpais. Look at that.
We are senpais.
You are senpais.
Yeah. Yeah. The moment I got to that cliffhanger, I was like, yeah, they're not gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen, but they're not gonna. This is the setup of something.
More ridiculous,
More ridiculous, and
we should.
Oh my god, he delivered.
We should talk a little bit about that joke when Twilight goes into Twilight mode and the timer goes off. And
I loved it, even though it wasn't like a true to time timer. I love they kept that in there.
Yes.
No, they have to, because it's gonna be a recurring motif.
Yeah.
Yeah. In episode 35, when he gets to the bar with Yoda.
Yeah.
And he starts to freak out because he starts considering the possibility that she's falling for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also goes in Twilight mode and
The
and he's
typewriter.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I always thought of that.
They have to add this.
Oh, yeah.
The way
have
I
a
always
turn
thought
of
of that thing was like it was like a old timey, I don't know, some kind of like clicky timer with like click 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 click, and it goes like faster and it's like ding, something like that. That's how I always saw the Twilight.
No, I
mode.
thought like the typewriter like ching 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 like yeah. But
Well,
yeah.
now
Yeah,
the anime has like an
yeah.
official version, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
No,
I mean, it's great. It's great the way
Yeah.
they execute it. Do we talk about the elephant in the room?
That
What?
thing we were talking about beforehand?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, we can talk about that. Take it away, Roski.
Okay, so the most bizarre thing is that this wholesome, non-fanservice anime, fan-service anime, actually does have some form of censorship, and I find that rather interesting. Obvious, but interesting because in the manga, when Twilight is proclaiming how he will give his life to protect Yor, to play along with Yuri, he mentions that even if it's bullets or a nuke,
Oh, yeah.
he's gonna stand for. Well, there's an elephant in the room in Europe. About
Yeah.
this, so they are trying to tone down, which is strangely ironic because this is a Cold War setting. We're talking about an anime and manga that, as funny as it is and as wholesome as it is,
Yeah.
Mhm.
talks about an analogous universe to
Yeah.
a time period in human history where this was a very real threat.
You talking about this? Yeah, this is just me spitballing here, but like from like a story, like a not a storyteller, but like a lore perspective or like a setting perspective. I think having nukes in the context of the story would kind of derail like the comedy aspect of it. I feel like
I get it.
well, no. I just mean like it makes more sense that Loid is able to go around and like do all this crazy shit without having the fear of some dude pressing a button and like leveling a country. Like I feel like he would be taking things a little bit more seriously. I mean, he does, but like you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. I mean, if,
Yeah.
delving too much into it,
I'm just
we'll
talking.
bring the seriousness.
Yeah.
We'll make a little harder for the manga to focus on the comedy and the found family of war during the
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, one thing that we didn't talk about last time was they in the anime they never said that Loid couldn't get drunk. I don't know if y'all caught that, but in episode 5 when Frankie said,
I did. They did could that.
yeah, because Frankie in the manga when he says, he's like, why aren't you drinking? You and he's like, well, I can't get drunk, so it doesn't do anything for me. Whereas in the anime, he was just like, just leave me alone, like. And
No, what a baby.
yeah.
What kind of response is it? Just leave me alone.
Leave me brooding. I'm here brooding. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, I guess we're gonna see this is mouth cuts all over the place. So I guess.
Well, that I want to lead into something. I want Loid to get drunk in the anime. Like I want, you know what I mean? Like this is peak.
You
like
want them to have an excuse to be like, we can get Loid drunk because we never said he couldn't get drunk.
Exactly. Oh God, I hope they.
Yeah. I mean, so many different anime perceptions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess anime fans are gonna perceive many characters, most characters maybe, a little differently than manga fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
fun.
that's always bound to happen, and I think, like, whether you think it matters or not, I think kind of first impressions sort of do tend to make you think about a story or series maybe in a different context.
Oh, definitely.
Like,
Yeah.
we got the manga first, so we got, I guess, sort of the meat of everything, like, the first the first run of it, and now the anime has kind of taken it and filtered it a little bit, not a lot, but just enough that there are going to be some slight changes that might actually matter to some people. Where it's like, oh, Loid can't get drunk, but it's like, oh no, in the anime they never said he couldn't. So what's the truth, quote unquote? You know? Yeah. I guess the way I like to see it is that it's, for me, whenever I watch an anime or also read a manga at the same time, I kind of just choose to like, I'm just gonna pick and choose what I like from both.
And that's
as a combination.
That's completely
basically.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's valid.
Because it's like, well, I mean, they're technically both canon. I'm not gonna sit here and argue that Endo is more right than the anime teams or something.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, it's coming from the same source, and yes, technically Endo wrote it first, but there could be slight changes made, maybe just for like the sake of story, and like I don't think there's anything wrong with keeping the reins a little loose on the possibility of whatever drunk Loid could possibly wind up getting into.
Oh my god,
because it would be really fun, and I think Endo maybe kind of wrote himself into a corner when he put that together.
Maybe.
You know, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Well,
no, I guess it's gonna have some dramatic effect later because.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see if that ever comes into play. And what might happen.
I mentioned this because there are some scenes where he goes with Frankie to accompany him to sulking his
sorrows.
His
loveless life, his bitchless life.
His bitchless life,
which
we will talk about here in a little bit.
I mean, we're talking about
literally and figuratively.
Man, that's bad. That's bad, Blue.
Let me get this out of the way.
That's a Takuya dad joke right there. That's a
hell yeah.
I mentioned this because we see Twilight go drink with Frankie, and the thing is, we know that Twilight has quite a tragic backstory. So I guess the fact that he can't get drunk contributes to the drama, because there are things I want to forget, and I want to drown my sorrows in this alcohol, but I can't because I have been trained to not be able to do so. So even in the times when he wants to numb himself, he can't.
I don't agree with that. I think Loid, if given the opportunity, let's say he could get drunk, I don't think he would. I don't think he would drink if he knew he could get drunk, because just coming off of 62.3, not knowing, not being aware is your greatest weakness.
It's fundamentally against him to just like, I'll just forget all my problems. He's built like this entire thing off like, I'm not gonna forget what I've went through. Like all of this information, like I guess his entire life experience has built him up into this person that he is, and I don't think him using alcohol to quote unquote numb the pain would do him any favors or anything.
If anything, it would just like set his anxiety off, because like even him, he's paranoid as hell. So like I can't imagine him being tipsy and just like god, like what's you know what I mean? Like so
exactly. Like for me, I never really liked the idea of getting drunk, especially not like blackout drunk. I just don't like the idea of my mind getting riddled kind of with alcohol or drugs per se, and I can't think straight or can't remember things straight. It makes me too uncomfortable. I don't like that. And I think Loid might be in the same boat.
Like in the context of the manga, I think it makes sense and it appeals to his character.
He wouldn't.
Yeah, well, whereas in the anime, we haven't got that yet. And I don't know if they're going to take it the same route as they did in the manga. Honestly, I hope they don't. Because to me, honestly, I thought that was complete bullshit when they're like, oh, I can't get drunk. Like, it's physically impossible. Like, you can get drunk.
Well, I mean, okay, at the very least, I guess he just met, I guess it was just like high tolerance, because Yora's high tolerance to poison, but she still kind of, you know, got fucked up by it. It was just less of an effect because of her high tolerance. I think that's what Loid might be.
Alcohol doesn't work like that. Poison, you could kind of get away with it with poison, but like with alcohol, it just doesn't work like that. So like my whole thing is either there's one of two possibilities that I could see out of this.
Lying out of his ass.
No, well maybe one of two possibilities. One, he's an alcoholic and drinks a whole lot, and that's why he has a high tolerance and a couple
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, he did order a whole bottle at the bar, which I always thought was crazy to begin with. But anyway, moving on.
He's just using wives.
He's so extra. That too, right? But hey, you know how much a bottle costs at the bar? Never mind. Yeah.
Well, tell us. Why not get into it?
Well, I mean, okay, all right, let's do this. You charge by the shot when you buy a bottle at the bar. So when you buy a bottle of, like, let's say the cheapest like vodka you can get there, it's gonna cost like $200. Like,
figures.
Yeah. So unless he's just trying to be extra and like blow money out of his ass, like that was unnecessary, Loid. I don't think you needed to buy the whole bottle, but. Anyway, yeah, and then the second option is that he can get drunk, but he's trained himself to not to keep his wits about him, and like have not impaired motor function or anything like that. Which if that's possible, I need to learn. I need to go to a class. I'll sign up tomorrow.
Crow's gonna become a wise agent, guys. He's leaving the podcast.
I'm gonna live my dream.
But I mean, as grounded as it can be, the manga does run on bullshit sometimes.
Oh yeah, like you're downing pufferfish poison and not even batting an eye. Like
yeah, like that's not possible. Like it's not fucking possible.
Right.
Well, I mean, no.
It's not. It's not possible. That's one of the things I hope they fix in the date chapter or the date episode is like, okay, you can say any other kind of poison and I'd be like, okay, but like drinking straight pufferfish poison, Endo, I think you were. I don't know what you were smoking, but.
It says here that Andre the Giant once drank 119 12-ounce beers in 6 hours. 11 gallons or so, basically.
In 6 hours? Yeah.
Die for poisoning.
Because he was Andre the Giant.
I mean, well, yeah, Andre the Giant.
This podcast has gone completely off the rails.
Oh, I'm going to delete most of this. Don't worry about it.
You should make a little supercut of us talking about alcohol again.
Oh my god.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Let's talk about bitchless.
Okay, wait. Before we move on to bitchless, there's one thing I did want to talk about with episode 8. I completely saw this by accident because I stopped it as I paused the video as I was doing something for the podcast, and I looked on the screen. And in the beginning, where Anya is answering the question about the fractions, okay, and this was interesting to me because Anya made a mistake that every single kid makes when doing fractions, and the fact that everyone gave her this funny look is just like, to me, is like, it's either the kids are just being mean for the sake of being mean, or that they probably didn't know the answer either, but they were judging her anyway. Which is, in the first, there's 2 problems, okay? In the first problem up top, they already solved it together. And it was 2/3 minus 1/3 equals 1/3. And the bottom one, it's 5/6 minus 2/3 equals what? And so Anya does what every kid her age does, and she just subtracts the 2 top numbers. And that's where she gets 3/3 from. And I like in my like educator brain, I was just like, that's something I would coach students on all the time, is like, you have to make the denominators match, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So when Anya's watching Bond Man and she's she's like 2/8 ammunition, she understands fractions. Like, the fractions aren't the problem. It's like the way it's being taught to her and presented to her isn't meshing with, how she learns, which I thought was very interesting because that also covers, it goes back to her being younger than everybody else. So she's not thinking at a high enough level in order to comprehend that, like, denominators and, you know what I mean? Like, which, by the way, I don't know what fucking first graders are learning fractions like that this quick. But...
I know.
I mean, last episode they were teaching them the Pythagorean theorem.
Right.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Like,
That's fucking geometry.
I learned that in middle school.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of Eden Academy education needs to like super like fast speed through learning all that shit, but
Right.
oh my fucking god, they need to chill out.
For real.
Yeah, like, what are they gonna teach them less?
Yeah. But I just thought that was very interesting. That was a nice detail that the anime did that they didn't really have to do. Like, they could have just let that board be blank and nobody would have batted an eye, but...
oh, yeah. No, but yeah, like, again, Spike's Family, the details, man. They do not skimp out on any of those
devil's in the details, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the best anime adaptations are the ones that add more details.
Yeah.
Elaborate upon which was already been established.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, you got fuck that teacher for being like, that's completely wrong. It's like, okay, you know that she probably made that mistake because you probably weren't very clear or whatever. Like, fuck you.
Exactly. Fuck Eden teachers, except for Mr. Henderson.
Yeah, no, Henderson's the only good one.
Yeah, Henderson is fine.
Yeah,
and I know that he's like he's like history-centric teacher. I think I like that. I think it's interesting. And like, I don't know, maybe that'll actually come to play. Probably.
Well,
Well,
okay, Endo always goes the easy route and makes him the teacher for everything because all the other teachers are calling in sick.
Someone gets sick or some shit like that.
Like in the...
It's funny because my nephew actually took notice of that.
Oh, yeah?
That running back. Like, why do always the teachers get sick so he can take over? Like, oh my God, you actually picked up on this.
Because Endo likes drawing Henderson, that's why.
Mr. Elegance.
Mr. Elegante.
I mean, why create more teachers when you already have an ability?
Exactly. You've got Henderson in green. That's all you need. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and talk about bitch list now. I've said all that needs to be said. 62.4 short mission.
I didn't know why the fuck they called it that.
62.4.
I guess it's because other short missions are always do have like that.
I know, but it's like so confusing when you see
here.
It's like,
that's okay.
Yeah, the nomenclature doesn't work because it's like
it doesn't work here. No,
it doesn't work at all. It doesn't. I don't understand why we did 62.1.2.3 to begin with. It should have just been 62, 63, 64, and then this would have been 60. I don't.
I can imagine like Endo and Editor Son like in the writing room like, what the fuck did we do? Why did we name the chapters this way? Like pulling their hair like, we have to name it 62.4. That doesn't fucking work. It's like, fuck it, we'll just do it. We'll just do it.
Volume releases. For the volume release because.
Well, my thing is okay. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not even gonna try to categorize anymore. Like, it's so confusing now that like I don't know what chapters to go to look for information now. Like, if I'm looking for like the date chapter, I don't know what the date chapter is. If I'm looking for the episode where they're walking around with the dolls and stuff like that, I don't know what chapter that is. It's one of the decimals. That's all I know. But like, I don't know which one at this point.
I just know that the way they format it in the volumes is that you get like I think 5 regular chapters and then 1 short mission, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I got really excited for a second. Like, oh god, it's Frankie! Like, because of the 62.4, I thought incorrectly that maybe we're gonna get like a Frankie-centric like POV for the war thing.
No.
And then it was just him at the dog park.
It was just him being thirsty, like always. Like.
Yeah.
And then Bond is being seriously, which is sad.
You mean, I'm sorry, not Bond, Roski. It's Wargles. Or Warfles. That's what it is, right?
Warfles.
Yeah,
Warfles.
Warfles.
I honestly couldn't tell for a second. Like, does Frankie not just know Bond's name?
He's called him Bond before. I don't know where Warfles came from.
I guess it's just like an affectionate...
It's like the pretension of, yeah, this is my dog.
Warfles.
Like, he's looking to the public about, yeah, this is my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's essentially that because he's using the dog to meet girls, and it doesn't work out.
I was reading, man, like, we could talk about all of that, but like reading the little backstory thing, or the background thing of like Frankie like trying way too hard on this girl, I'm like, dude, you're being so creepy. I'd be so freaked out if this was me.
Yeah, 100%. I don't blame her at all.
That's the problem, like.
That's
the problem. Like, you're trying way too hard and are being.
Which, okay, he's given Bond all of this advice to score a poodle, and it's good advice. It's just he doesn't take his own fucking advice. Like, I don't get it. Like, I feel like Loid at one point has given him the talk, and Frankie like memorized it, but like didn't like internalize it. You know what I mean? Like, he gets it, but he doesn't.
Yeah. I guess the thing is that Loid, he kind of just exudes that energy all the time. He doesn't have to perform it up.
Yeah.
But Frankie has to perform it up.
Oh yeah,
he
he's
just
gotta
doesn't
work.
instinctually have it.
Right. Yeah, I when Bond has more game than you, you know, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, that's
Right. This is like the second or third time Bond has like saw like a girl dog and be like, ooh, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I got really excited. I was like, oh, is Bond gonna get like a dog girlfriend? And then we saw this. I'm like, oh, never mind. He's got problems like Frankie. This is never gonna happen.
Yeah.
I gotta give up on the hope that he'll ever get like a cute little girl.
Oh my God, Blue. You know what gave me an idea for a fic? All right. What if yours walking Bond and Bond sees a girl dog and it's like some dude walking her. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Bond gets a little girlfriend. Yeah. And then that's when Lancelot comes in and no, I'm just kidding.
It's fine. Crow will cut all of this out. No one will ever hear
goddamn right I will.
I mean,
Hey, unless I keep it like I did when I bleeped out your.
It's fine. Just delete all of it. Just delete all of it.
Nah.
You'll hear from my lawyers. Yeah, but like the girl dog, I was a little uncomfortable with how humanish she looked. Like, this is kind of getting into a little furry territory, Endo.
I don't think that's furry territory.
I
don't know. It's just like it's like she had very specific like eyelashes and like very specific kind of, I guess, human-ish looking eyes. It was a little weird because Bond's eyes are just like little black dots, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But like for this, I'm like, she's looking a little too humanish. It's
Well, Bond was too good for her anyway, so.
Yeah.
He was.
Oh my
She
God.
looked kind of snobby, not gonna lie, with that
snobby.
long ass luscious hair. Her hair is like longer than her fucking owner's, I think, or maybe just about the same length.
God, I
It's
could not
hilarious.
have a long-haired dog. I do not have
Oh
the
my
patience
God,
to brush all
that
that.
would be messy.
God,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
I wonder if her and the owner go to the same hairstylist.
probably.
No, I mean,
She kind of looked like Yor.
yeah,
I know.
that's a cool.
I saw that. I'm like, your or
Yeah.
like yours long lost twin sister.
A little bit, yeah. I think Endo just
Yeah.
has like a style, and sometimes it doesn't. It's hard to
mean,
differentiate between the
Like,
characters.
all the like every time he draws like men and women, like they do have like pretty good hairstyles, but yours hair is just so unique. It's like it's good that you can always tell that that's not your, like, even if it kind of looks like her.
Yeah.
Like the hair isn't done the right way.
Right.
Thank God. So
Exactly.
you can't just mistake her for your.
Right.
There's a point when your character designs are gonna start reusing elements and principles.
Oh my
because
God, Hero
You can only
Mashima,
imagine so much things.
Fairy Tale. It's
Oh
all
my
the
God, no,
same fucking character over and over again. Literally.
Oh yeah, and that's
Oh my God.
Though literally, okay, this is completely off topic now, but there's a character in Rave Master, which is his first work. Okay, that same character shows up in a completely different story in Fairy Tale, and even
my God.
yeah, but okay, that same character has 3 versions of himself that are all exactly the same. And then I think he shows up in another fucking, like, he just, like, I don't know what it is. But they're, like, not the same character. That's the thing. Like, they look like the same character. Like, physically, they act the same, but it's not the same character. It's a completely different
That's
person.
hilarious.
I mean,
I'm like, oh my God.
That's what,
I mean, let's not
Osama
forget,
said
was it Leggy something, him and his fucking one-off woman. Oh my God, still makes me so angry.
One Piece?
No, Mattel from Galaxy Express 999.
Leiji Matsumoto. Yeah, that
Yeah,
guy.
no. He draws one woman and one woman only the entire fucking time. The only difference is they have different colored hair. Or one of them has like a giant scar
Or
on
different
their
color
face.
skin, or they dress differently. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, the guys have it better, but not so much because they're either look like hard luck or they look
yeah.
like walking beans. I don't know.
Walking
I mean,
beats.
yeah, that's the thing with art styles. Even the most versatile of artists, like Naoki Urasawa, the author of Monster.
Mm-hmm.
There's a limit of how many different faces you
Yeah,
can imagine.
no, I get it.
Yeah.
Endo
and
Endo isn't nearly at that point either. I was just making an observation.
Yeah, no, we're just kind of making fun.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he drew the dog, like, laughing and, like with her arms crossed was honestly really funny and, like, kind of just ridiculous.
It was very
like,
cartoony,
no, dogs, yeah, no, it was really funny and cartoony because, like, obviously normal dogs don't do that shit, but it's just so weird and off-putting enough that, like, kind of entertaining.
No, what was weird and off-putting was Frankie trying to make the moves in the background. I loved each panel where just progressively he's just more and more desperate to the point where at the end he's like, "I love you, please go out with me." Just like
then she rightfully slaps him.
Yeah.
He completely deserved that.
He totally did.
I don't know what the fuck it's gonna take for Frankie to learn fucking patience.
You can't get a girlfriend in your first interaction, buddy. Sorry.
No, man.
Oh yeah, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And like poor Bond, he tried being sleek by getting wet, and the dog just laughed at him.
Oh, Noodle
Like,
Bond. The return of Noodle Bond.
At least Loid was nice enough to try to hold it back a little.
Right.
He was like snickering really hard to himself.
Yeah.
I love that panel. Loid just looks so out of it because like he rarely ever kind of smiles, and like just to see him like full blown trying to hide back laughing out loud is really fucking funny. Yeah, this entire mini chapter was just really fucking funny. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was very
that
cute.
bonding. Frankie could bond over their loveless life. No bitches for them.
No bitches.
All indications.
Literally.
Bond is quite literal.
Literally. We should talk more a little bit about episode 7, like after the whole Damian and Anya thing with like Loid getting more of like kind of a, well, you know, he was like trying his best to help Anya study, and he was like kind of faltering in his confidence a bit there. We're like, she's not getting it, I don't know what to do with her. And Yor kind of helped him like reel it back in and reevaluate his goals and everything, especially like with the mention of Yuri, like his kind of first introduction and everything.
Yeah.
That we completely just went out of order with.
Yeah.
But all those scenes were really sweet when, you know, Loid knocks on her door and he finds her like trying to study on her own and then puts her to bed. It was really sweet, just nice kind of family moment stuff with Loid's very slowly but surely kind of figuring out more like how to be a real father, a real dad to Anya, and like actually help her improve and study, even though he says like, I'm only like doing this, you know, for the mission and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know if he actually said that, but you know, you kind of got that vibe, I think.
Yeah. Well, what he said was, I wonder how I'd feel like if I had a real family. Which, yeah. So, you know, we're still 62 chapters in, and he still doesn't consider them his real family yet. So,
and damn it, Loid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's kind of bullshitting, but.
Oh, he's totally bullshitting. I mean, we saw that, like I said last podcast, like chapter 34, I think it is. Yeah, where he's like, and then okay, since we're on the topic, what Tari had shared, or there was a discussion this morning, and it was about, it was Senpai. Senpai was asking the desserts that he picked up for Yor and Anya after the tennis arc, and it was there was like a nut cake for Anya, and it was an apple tart for Yor. And the reason that's significant is because, and this is only in the background of one panel in an extra mission, but it's Yuri going on about Yor and how she likes apples. And it's never come up anywhere else in the manga, like he's never talked about it or anything like that, or she's never talked about it or anything like that, but Loid knows that she likes apples. So he went out and got her an apple tart, and I'm like, if you didn't care about her that much, you wouldn't have fucking specified to get her an apple tart. Like, you wouldn't have bothered to remember. I mean, granted, Loid of all people would, but we all know that's not the reason why he remembered. So
I mean, he has already have some Freudian sleep, like, in the boat arc, like,
I miss you too.
How much has went on that I haven't spent time with my family?
Oh yeah, that's
I called it my family.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah, you did, bitch.
Yeah. We're gonna get some
Well,
Twayor the next episode next week on Saturday.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh no,
it's
we
gonna be
will.
glorious.
It's
gonna be glorious.
This is the one that's gonna make the internet break. I thought it was gonna be this past episode because I thought we were gonna get that scene this past episode, but now we're gonna get it next week. So I can't wait for
It's
that.
gonna be easy.
Yeah, there's 2 scenes actually that'll pop up. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good episode. Can't wait to see that.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
I mean, now that we are getting near the end of this curve, do you have any speculation of where the cutting point is gonna be?
I think they're gonna end it either because we're gonna be at episode 9, right?
Yeah, so there's only 3 more episodes left?
I think episode
Four.
Yeah, so episode 10. All right, my prediction it's gonna be the dodgeball episode, with like some other like Eden stuff going on because I don't remember at the top of my head all the Eden stuff, but and then episode 11 is probably going to be either the date. No, I'm gonna say that it's gonna be a toss up. Episode 11 and 12, it's gonna be back and forth between the date episode or the aquarium episode.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I think the aquarium episode will be the last one they ended on, or the date one. I think the date one is.
I do think the extra missions are gonna be OVAs.
I don't think.
I would like that. At least they'd get like their own attention, kind of, and it'd be shorter, so not any pressure to fill it out.
I'm guessing the last episode of this story is gonna be Anya getting her first Stella.
Ooh, that's a
you
good
think?
point.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see, because I'm looking at it right now. It's like that's like chapter 16, and right now we've covered up to what is it like chapter 11, 12? I think 12.
12.
So that's 4 chapters.
The Stella chapter is chapter 16.
Yes.
I thought it was later than that. Oh yeah,
No,
I mean
it's
we
pretty
could.
early on.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll actually end it on like kind of a high note. Like, yeah, look, Anya can earn a star.
But that's also the chapter where they tease Bond. So yeah, that would fit. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, because
I'm not seeing Bond in chapter 16.
Well, 17 is. But that it's a little piece at the beginning of 17, so they might tack that on at the end of that episode.
Yeah, so they end.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
They end with a tease of Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I think. Yeah, I think. Haven't we said before? We thought it was going to be the Inusan crisis. They were going to maybe hint to that at the end of the season, and then we'd start off strong with a couple episodes about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised with how fast it's going through the content. Not in a bad way. I'm just like when it's presented in front of me, I realize it's not as much as I thought it was, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I guess it's just like, yeah.
It's like that, and as well as I guess the teams have done a really good job. It's like, okay, let's pace this out so we can fit 2 chapters
really
worth
good
of content
pacing
into one episode. So
And
it's pretty fluid. I mean,
Yeah.
I was a little surprised that because I assumed that the entire episode for like episode 7 would just be Anya trying to get Damian to be friends with her or something.
Yeah.
But they did that within like half the episode, and the other half was just Anya, like them building up like the fact that Loid is trying super hard to kind of push Anya to study more. Anya completely hates studying.
Yeah.
And Yours like trying to be more part of the family, like and introduce Yuri. Like they were very smart about it.
Yeah.
With like introducing Yuri, and you're like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to barge in on a daughter and her father, and Loid reassures her again, and it will come up again, guys. He tells her like, no, you're part of the family, and I value your input because you see things about this that I don't see, which is true. And I think it's always nice that they're putting in all the extra finite details, the finer details from the chapters, and making sure that they do get the attention that they deserve for the audience members to understand like how important those things are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has big names in it.
Yeah. It's
pretty good pacing. I could see them fleshing it out to like chapter 17. Yeah.
I
can see it.
I do want them to at least cover the aquarium chapter, just because it isn't technically an extra mission. They published that one in Weekly Shonen Jump, so it is part of the canon. It's just a separate deal altogether.
Right.
But
it just has to come before Bond, I guess, shows up technically.
Yeah. That'd probably be best. Well, that's why if they are gonna tease Bond at the end of it, they would need to do it before then. So probably like episode 11 or so.
But I mean,
yeah. So I don't know.
So that applies to the date, because if Anya and Frankie went to spy them,
yeah,
where the hell is Bond?
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, that's true.
So I don't know.
So
we'll see.
We'll have to see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even realize. Yeah, we only got 4 episodes left, and then second core is going to be in fall. Or
that's
winter.
gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
because Chainsaw Man comes out in fall too, right?
Oh, God.
So does the remake of Urusei Yatsura.
Oh wow.
So we have old school anime comedy, modern anime comedy, and a shitload of gore. In the same.
Oh man. Okay, well we're gonna have our hands full later, but in the meantime, that was the episode, or those were both episodes. That was the chapter. Next Saturday is episode 9, and then what is it? Not the 5th, the 12th of June. That's when we're gonna get our next chapter. So we will probably hold off and do an episode then. But yeah, in the meantime, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and we will see you all again soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.